Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, listen, a lot of people right now are freaking out about our upcoming legislative session, and I will admit that I have probably fueled those flames a little bit because I am trying to give you a very honest perception about what I do believe is coming. And a lot of people are probably most worked up about a potential push for a semi-automatic rifle ban. However, there's going to be another push that could have significant and devastating impacts, and one which I think has a better chance of surviving constitutional scrutiny. So we need to talk about that today. So today, let's spend a few minutes and talk about the importance of state preemption and why it matters this legislative session. Okay, so the issue we're talking about today is RCW 9.41.290, your state preemption law. Now, for those of you who've been geeking out as we've been trying to read the tea leaves and talk about what might be coming here in the 2023 legislative session, sets to start on January 9th of 2023, we have been routinely mentioning, hey, we think they're going to take a real run at trying to water down or eliminate state preemption. What exactly is the state preemption? Well, state preemption, as I mentioned earlier, is found in RCW 9.41.290, and it specifically reads, "The state of Washington hereby fully occupies and preempts the entire field of firearms regulation within the boundaries of the state, including the registration, licensing, possession, purchase, sale, acquisition, transfer, discharge, and transportation of firearms or any other element relating to firearms or parts thereof, including ammunition and reloader components." The law then gives limited exceptions to cities, including cities, towns, and counties or other municipalities may enact only those laws and ordinances relating to firearms that are specifically authorized by state law, as in RCW 9.41.300, and are consistent with this chapter. Such local ordinances shall have the same penalty as provided for by state law. Local laws and ordinances that are inconsistent with, more restrictive than, or exceed the requirements of state law shall not be enacted and are preempted and repealed regardless of the nature of the code, charter, or home rule status of such city, town, county, or municipality. That's a very long-winded state legislature way of saying that, listen, when it comes to firearms regulations and restrictions, who can possess, where we can possess, what we can possess, what we can do, that is all controlled by state law. It is not left to local municipalities, counties, cities, or any type of local government. And the only statutory authorization given to municipalities to enact their own gun laws come from RCW 9.41.300, a statute which lists many of the restricted areas that we cannot carry firearms, known as gun-free zones. However, they do provide exceptions for cities in limited situations to make further restrictions, and those include the following. Cities, towns, counties, or other municipalities may enact laws and ordinances, A, restricting the discharge of firearms in any portion of their respective jurisdiction when there is a reasonable likelihood that humans, domestic animals, or property will be jeopardized. Such laws and ordinances shall not abridge on the right of the individual guaranteed by Article 1, Section 24 of the state constitution to bear arms in defense of self or others. Okay, so cities, towns, municipalities can restrict intentional discharge of firearms so long as there is an exception to you intentionally discharging a firearm in lawful self-defense. The other exception right now under state law is B, restricting the possession of firearms in any stadium or convention center operated by a city, town, county, or other municipality, except that such restriction shall not apply to. And then it has basically two exceptions, that is CPL holders or any events involving the use or exhibition of firearms and things like that. So you can see there is very limited reasons by which a city could impose more gun regulations. Now, when we've been taking a look at all the political tea leaves and all the political hot wind that's coming out of our Attorney General and our Governor's office and some of the state legislators, and we've talked about it in this video and all of these videos here where we've been kind of looking into the tea leaves, We realize that some people in the state are just so upset because that pesky little thing called the Constitution keeps getting in the way, or they don't have the legislative will to get certain things done in Olympia. And what do they want to do? Well, what they want to do is they want to erode RCW 9.41.290, the state preemption law, thus allowing cities, counties, and municipalities to make their own gun laws. Now, this can be done one of several ways, and it's all very, very easy to do. Just looking at RCW 9.41.290 in its original form as it is, the state could merely just add an extra sentence right here, or the state could actually just strike some language right here, and you have significantly done away with state preemption. Or another easy way that it could be done is that in RCW 9.41.300, a statute which does give local governments very limited authority to impose certain gun laws, you could take this pre-existing statute, which looks like this, add several more exceptions right here, and now you have basically done away with state preemption. What does that mean to you, the lawful and responsible gun owner in Washington State? Well, what it means is if you think it's bad that the state of Washington gets to set gun laws, that the state of Washington gets to tell you how many rounds you should be able to carry, what kinds of firearms you should have, where you should and should not be able to carry, can you imagine when the city of Seattle gets to do that to you? Can you imagine when King County, Pierce County, Snohomish County get to do that to you? Can you imagine anyone living in Yakima County who wants to live under King County rules when they're just in King County doing business? Because I can't. Can you imagine taking a road trip from Seattle to Pullman, not like I've ever done that before, and going across multiple jurisdictions where my possession of my handgun in my car may go from legal to illegal to legal to illegal, depending on which jurisdiction I'm in? Can you imagine the lack of uniformity that would occur considering the great diversity of political environments that we have in this state? The entire purpose of laws, the entire reason why we do videos with Washington gun law is so that you can understand what the laws say and what it means to you so that you then can decide what your level of compliance will be. How can any citizen expect to know the laws that restricts a right if those laws change every time we change zip code? And here's the problem with this argument. Unlike a proposed ban on magazines, unlike a proposed ban on assault weapons, which arguably there is no constitutional support for and very clear authority that says that is in fact unconstitutional, there is no similar case law that says that a state can do away or cannot do away with its preemption law. There are many Supreme Court cases that involve municipalities, predominantly in California, who have implemented their own gun policies outside of the restrictive measures already imposed by the state of California. So come this legislative session, one of the biggest pieces of legislation that every lawful and responsible gun owner needs to take a look at is what is being done with state preemption. The consistency that we expect as lawful and responsible gun owners will be ruined, and if you think those in Olympia are hell-bent on taking your Second Amendment rights, just imagine what the Seattle City Council will do. Listen, if you have any more questions about state preemption or anything else related to your Second Amendment rights, remember, you can always contact us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or of course you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Now, let's remember, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.